I'm born in Middlekauf, born in 1929, 5th of September, and I was born in Halfway, Maryland.
What about your family?
Sir?
At the time?
At the time?
Your family?
My family lived on a farm, and they was all young, happy to go there wherever.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
I had 2 brothers. The oldest one he's dead, and the second one, he died at 18 months. And then afterwards, after we moved from Halfway, we moved to Clear Spring, Maryland. And I had an older sister after me, and then a brother and another sister. And that was it.
How many? I forgot to count.
That was 6 altogether.
Wow.
So it was.
Any of them went to military like you?
Yeah.
Your old brothers?
My older brother passed away. The second brother had passed away. And then I'm the oldest right now. My sister lives in Orlando, Florida. She's the oldest sister. And then I have a brother that lives down here in Potomac Tires. And the younger sister lives in the country.
What were you doing when the Korean War broke out?
Well, I was married at the time.
Oh.
Housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
And lived on a farm. And got my notice through the mail. My friends and neighbors had selected me for the armed forces.
Mm-hmm.
So the gentleman I worked for wanted to give me a retirement, and I said, no, I'll go take my chances like the rest of the boys. I said, if I pass, I'll go, and if I don't pass, I'll work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Said, fair enough deal. So that's what I've done. So I broke up housekeeping and went down to Fort Meade and was swore in. Went from Fort Meade to Fort Eustis, Virginia, and took my basic training. And then from Fort Eustis, Virginia, I went to Langley Field Air Base, packed radio tubes for over in Korea, and left there. Went back to Fort Eustis. From Fort Eustis, I went down to there along the beach. What was that now? Let me think a little bit.
But it's okay. When did you actually enlist? You enlist, right?
No, I was drafted.
Drafted into Army.
Army.
Yeah, and what was your specialty?
Well, whenever I got finished my basic training, I took stevedore training, loading ships and unloading ships.
Ah.
And then from there, I went to Fort Story and took amphibious duck training. That was driving on land with a truck and then put all your plugs in and drove it out in the water to a ship where we went out and unloaded and loaded the stuff on the back and forth. And then I left there and came home on a leave over New Year's.
What year are we talking about now?
1952.
So you drafted in 1952 and you went through all this training.
Right.
Where did you go from?
I went from Fort Eustis. They sent me home for a couple of days, and then I went to Camp Kilmer, New Jersey. And I left Camp Kilmer, New Jersey, went to New York and loaded on a ship. It was 37 days and a half on a ship. We left New York, went to Puerto Rico. From Puerto Rico, we went to the Panama. Panama, we went to Japan. And Japan into Korea.
So you've been in the sea for a long time?
Right.
You didn't have any seasick?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah. But then I when I got in Korea, we unloaded the ship, went in at Incheon. From Incheon, we loaded.
When was it? When did you arrive in
1953.
What month?
January.
And then what happened?
We went from there down to Busan
You went down to Busan?
on the train, yeah.
Oh.
On the train, went to Busan. Was in Busan for 2 weeks
Uh-huh.
and went back to up to I'll tell you in a minute. Daegu.
Mm.
Went to Daegu.
Mm-hmm.
From Incheon, down at Incheon, we come back up, well, this vice versa, from Busan up to Incheon. From Incheon to Busan. Busan was my permanent place over there with the 52nd Ordnance Ammo Company. And I ended up being the truck driver there, hauling ammunition.
Right.
And then they sent me from Daegu back down to Osan, from Yangchang to Osan. And I unloaded ammo from the ships on barges and brought it in, loaded the box cars, and sent them on up to the front or wherever they sent them. I'd get them loaded, make sure they was boarded up and everything, and then they got that job done down there. I went back up to Yongchong.
Yongcheon?
Yeah, Yongchong.
Yongcheon. Yeongdeungpo? No?
No,
Yongcheon, where is it?
that's between Busan and Daegu. It's 24 miles out of Daegu.
Gyeongsan. Gyeongsan? K. Yongcheon. Yongcheon. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
With the 52nd Ordnance Ammo Company there.
Mm-hmm.
And the sign on the gate says the best ammo handlers in the world. That's what the sign read. But there was a Korean school just on the other side of our compound. That they had school there the whole year round and all. So when I left over there, I left Yongchong and went back down to Busan.
Mm-hmm.
And Busan got on his General Black and came home. So it did. And went into Washington State. Washington State, we flew into California. California flew into Baltimore.
I am already lost. You've been all around. So when did you leave for the state?
Last part of 1953.
So then there were armistice signed while I was there, right?
Right.
What did you feel about the armistice signed?
Well, I thought it was a good thing. That way, a lot of the boys got to come home and everything. There wasn't any more getting killed or anything else. So, and they stopped the ammo. Coming over and all.
You were already married and you had to leave your wife back home.
Right.
Did you write letters to her?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Every time I'd receive one from her, she wanted to know what I was hauling. Since I was a truck driver, I'd never tell her I was hauling ammunition because I knew I'd worry her to death. So, and all. So.
Did you send the money back to your wife?
Yep. Had that all arranged that whatever I got, I'd only take so much out of it and send the rest of it home. So, yeah, we got married the day the Korean War broke out, June the 25th, 1950.
Oh, really?
Never thought I'd end up in it. So it didn't.
So you were supposed to be in Korea.
Right.
What did your wife say to you when you were leaving for Korea?
Well, what would any woman say? She hated to see me go.
Any specific comments she made?
Well,
She cried?
she was crying more than she was talking. Yeah. Yeah, she's crying more than she was talking. So she was.
Looking back all those years, why do you think you were in Korea? Who made you go to Korea?
No, Uncle Sam made me go to Korea because they get that list of names and you went where they sent you. Some guys went to Hawaii, some went to Japan, some went to Germany, but I was one that was supposed to go to Korea. So, and
Very unlucky.
no, I don't say that I was unlucky. I learned a lot. Went to the Army. I was one of them type guys that didn't like to go to school because I was one of the guys that was slow in learning. I learned more in the Army than what I did going to school. And whenever I come back, I talked to a gentleman that wanted to know where I was at. He hadn't seen me for quite a few years. And he owned grocery stores here in Hagerstown. And he knew from the time I was born until I come back from Korea, and he was wondering, hadn't seen me around.
What did he say to see you back?
He said, "Where you been?"
Is exactly?
Yeah, "Where you been?" I said, "Well, I've been cross country." I said, "I've been to Korea and back." He said, "No way." I said, "Yeah." He said, "What you doing now?" I said, "Looking for a job." He said, "Looking for a job, did you talk to my manager?" And he said, I said, "Yes, I talked to him." And he had no openings. We said, "I'm going over, I'll talk to him, see what we can do for you." So he talked to the man, and the manager of the store called me that evening and wanted to know if I could be at the store at 7 o'clock next morning. I said, "I'll be there." So I went to work for him for $1 an hour.
I mean, were there any dangerous moments during your service?
Yeah,
Tell me about those.
well, whenever the prisoners of war broke out down below where at the head there at Yongchong, they had a little skirmish around there, so we didn't know where the prisoners were going to or anything else. So. But other than that, that was about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been lucky. When exactly the person who were very close to you said to you that where have you been? That means that people didn't pay attention to the war, and after that people say it's a forgotten war. How do you react to that?
It is a forgotten war.
Why?
Mr. H.L. Mills was the one that wanted to know where I was at. Because he knew me from the day I was born until, his name was H.L. Mills. And he's the one that knew me from little up. And he's the one that gave me a job. And $1 an hour is what I got.
$1 an hour.
Right.
That was good wage?
That was the wage back then.
Was it good?
Yeah. I had more money in my pocket then than I did now. Yeah. But you were saying about a forgotten war? Nobody met me at the airport except my wife.
Huh.
Nobody met me at the bus terminal whenever I come home. And nobody even said thank you or anything else except that one man, and that was Mr. Mills. Other than that, I went for jobs. We don't have any. And then one guy said, "Well, where'd you work before?" I said, "I worked on a farm." And I said, "The farmer rented his farm out." And I said, "I don't have no job there." So I messed around for quite a while before I got the job with Mr. Mills.
Mm. So, why have you been back to Korea?
No.
No. You know what happened to Korea now? Korea is 12th largest economy and vibrant democracy in Asia.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That's good. Because when I left there, Busan was on fire. It burned out. That was the last part of '53. And of course I met some good people from over in Korea. So I have. And I have a Korean girl that was married and lives across the street from me. And she said, "I know more about Korea than what she ever did." So other than that, it's been pretty good. And all.
What do you think about U.S.-Korea relationship?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yep. So, like I say, I met the president down in D.C. there when we had that 3-course dinner with her. Very nice. She's a very nice lady, and I think she'll do the job superb.
Do you have grandchildren?
I got 2 grandsons.
Grandsons?
Right.
How old are they?
One is 24,
And
and the other one's 26.
24, what is he doing?
He's working on the railroad.
Huh?
Working on the railroad down in Baltimore. That's
Oh.
the 24-year-old one. And the 26-year-old one was in the Army for 4 years. And he was stationed out at where all the shooting and stuff was, Fort Hood. So he got out, and he went to finish his schooling. And he lives up in Maine now. And he's got a part-time job up there delivering furniture and all.
Did you have a camera when you were in Korea?
No. I had one of them little dollar cameras.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
take a picture?
Oh, yeah.
Do you still have those pictures with
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Oh. You know, the Clayton Burke, yeah. But he will collect the memorabilia and he will scan those pictures so that he can send it to me, and I will upload into the website so that everybody can see it.
Yeah. I worked for Clayton Burkholder.
You worked for him?
Yeah.
Ah.
I worked for him and never realized he was in the Air Force. And he was in the Korea about the same time I was.
Mm.
But he run a supermarket for Mr. Mills, and I worked for him in the store and everything. But not realizing that he was there too. And there was a couple boys that worked there, was in the Marine Corps, and of course the one man that was in the Marine Corps, he's in pretty bad shape now. Him and I worked together, and he wanted to take one of the girls home from the cash register, run the cash register. I was supposed to bring her home, drop her off on my way home. So I went back and told her, I told her a lie. I said, "I got to stay over." I said, "Mac wants some produce trimmed up for tomorrow morning." I said, "Mac said he'd take you home." He took her home, took her out to supper and everything else. So.
Please talk about your chapter 3:12, right?
312 is the best thing that ever happened.
Huh?
312 is the best thing that ever happened.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because we got more satisfaction out of the country and around Hagerstown and around here and there than we ever did. Now, I belong to another Korean outfit, Korean War. But I tried to talk them into joining the 312. They don't want to. So we just had a banquet Saturday. And out of 70 people, there was 9 showed up. Out of 175, there were 70 living and the rest of us passed away. But 312, they have done things that people wouldn't realize that the Korean veterans are doing. You know, it's not like today. I got through the mail 3 letters. Help the wounded veterans from coming back from these places. Help this one, help that one. Nobody ever got any letters while we was in there to help us. We done it on our own.
Who's chapter president?
Right now, as Les Bishop is still the president.
Where is he? Hello.
Hello.
I want to thank you very much. I have wonderful interviews here. How many? Like 8, right?
We did 10 altogether.
10 altogether. And this is Les Bishop, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Do you want to say something about this interview?
I am very pleased that we were able to do this. This is part of an initiative that I want to promote, where we can save as many of these stories from our Korean War veterans as possible. We're going to try and create a local library like you're doing with the digital memorial, so that these stories will be saved forever and ever.
Again, I want to thank you. I'm so pleased to be in the most active chapter.
Warren is exactly right. We're the most active chapter in Maryland. We may well be the most active chapter on the East Coast, and maybe all of America. I don't know about the western ones, but what Warren was saying a few moments ago about our activities and the banquet that he went to on Saturday night, we have 83 members, and we get 35 to 40 of them out to every single meeting every month.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We have to keep working on this legacy, otherwise it's not going to be preserved. Thank you so much. And I, as we talked about, I want to come down again and do more interviews of your chapter members.
We welcome that, open arms.
And I would like to get more memorabilia so that I can build chapter 312 photo album of the Korean War. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Any message that you want to leave to this interview?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to pay my condolence to the young people of Korea that got killed on that ferry. So I do.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
My eye doctor is a captain, and he could not watch the television whenever them people went down. He told me, he said, it's terrible. He said, I just couldn't watch that. Now, he was a captain, and he was over in Korea, but not during the war. But he was talking to me, and of course we have him Korean books that shows how it was and how it is now. And I was talking to him, so he wouldn't know if I had any. I said, I got one at the house, I'll let you borrow it. I took in, and the wife was with me. She said, why don't you just donate that to him? She said his father would like to read it to you. You thought I'd give that man a gold mine. So it did. And he really enjoyed that book the day I took it in. He said, now I got to do something for you. I said, no. You enjoy reading that book, and have your father read it, because I think his father was in World War II. He didn't get into detail on it, but I told him that we'd try to get him into the library and into the school libraries and stuff. And he said, wonderful. But once people finds out what you was doing and everything, they appreciate your service in. Like the young girls that worked for him in his office found out that him and I was talking about the Korean War. And I come out from his room from checking my wife's eyes because she had cataract taken off of. And the girls behind the desk said, we want to thank you for your service. Said, we never realized that you was in Korea. I said, that wasn't the only place I was. I said, I was in Vietnam too. And they couldn't believe that.
You were in the Vietnam War too?
Yeah, no.
No.
Vietnam. In 68, 69, I went to Vietnam.
You went too?
Yeah.
So you were in the war?
Yeah. Was over there repairing helicopters. My reserve unit was called to active duty.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down into Virginia, and then we left there and went to Vietnam. Flew over and flew back. So we did. And all. So, yep.
Thank you for your condolence for the tragic accident of ferry.
Yeah.
And
I enjoyed the younger people coming up to Lester's house and interviewing us, and then going back and writing a book about it.
yeah,
What we told them. Yeah, that book. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to connect these Korean American young guys with the descendant of the Korean War veterans. Okay, so
And the one parents was with them young people. I said about while I was in Korea, we throwed money in the pot and took care of an orphanage. We got them dried fish and rice and took out to them. And she just started clapping her hands and stood up and said, wonderful. And I thought that was one thing you could do to keep your children living, is to feed them. I'd throw a couple of dollars here and there in the pot for them. And like I said, they would go down and buy the dried fish and rice and everything else and take out to them. So,
thank you very much again.
yes, sir.